Hello and welcome to another free code session. My name is Jason Bach, and after the last episode I just did a clean and test, and I noticed this error right here, and I think it was something I had forgotten, which is somehow the way this is set up, you still have access to the things in this object model NuGet package reference, but when you actually run it, you don't. And so it's a little deceiving that over here that is being generated, but it's actually not being part of the assembly. So, because it has a problem, because it can't load this type, because it's really not there. So what I need to do is come back into here, and this is something I had in my notes, is to not have all these things here. Okay. So, yeah, we need to get rid of these. So we're going to do that. Okay. And now I need to say namespaces.add. And do I have, this is the other thing. I was like, do I have an overload? No, I don't. I need an overload where I just take literally a string. Okay. So we're going to say add string namespace. And all that's going to do is say this.builder.add namespace. That's it. Okay. And that way we can put in these three that we're going to need. Okay. So we'll do that. And then we'll do this one. Namespaces. Thank you. Yep. And then we'll do one more, and that's this one. Okay. Namespaces. Add. Okay, then we take these out, we take these out, and that should get rid of the errors. Okay, and then we come back up here, we get rid of those, and then we're going to do the same thing in the executor builder. This stuff we're going to remove, and we're going to put this one in. Namespaces. Add that, and then adapter. Those go away. Those go away. Now our test should still run because the resultant code we want to be able to still compile. So I think we still want things to work the way they are with the test. So let's come into here and say let's run the test and let's see what the result is. This might be one of the shortest episodes I've ever done. Am I going to curse myself? I don't know. But hopefully this will actually cause it to happen. And again, I got to remember to do a clean and then a test in the terminal. So we'll see what this does. And it passes, so nothing changed, which makes sense because this namespace gatherer, it is literally a string. It's a hash set, a string hash set. So if I was adding more or whatever, let's just move that. That looks a little bit nicer. There we go. Okay. So we got all that. And now, because I'm going to have to shut down and start up again. Right. So let's close this, but I don't know if I had to do a odd cut there, but I was showing my Twitter account. And I was like, nah, I didn't need to show that. So while I just shut down Visual Studio, and before I start it up again, I'm going to come in here and say .NET clean. Okay. And now we're going to say .NET test. And let's see what it does this time. If it fails absolutely badly, don't remember if it was this is better or not. It's looking, well, I don't see yellow text here yet. So no tests. Dang it. Well, it got better because it no longer is saying it can't load that assembly. Let's come over here and say reload it. Well, this is better. So now it does actually have this in here. Okay, and it must have built. So we are better. We have this in here. We have the power. It's just now it's not actually let's see. This should actually, it's calling run sources, which should come up here. And then it should just run all these tests. So for some reason, the discoverer is saying that it did not find any tests, even though we do have tests here. I mean, this is tests. So I'm not really sure why it's saying that it doesn't find any tests. That's kind of odd. And we are referencing NUnit framework. So I don't know. I'm not sure why that's not doing what it's supposed to be doing. You should be able to put your types in here because this inherits from test executor. It's an extension URL. This is a test discoverer. They're public. And this is the same thing that I was doing in the, let's get rid of rocks here because that's kind of confusing me. Oh yeah, I gotta bring it back up again. Just like I said I would. I mean, I feel like I'm so close right now. I feel like I'm very, very close, but not quite there. If I go back to my hard-coded example, okay, this was a test adapter. Oh, this is the test adapter. But my project itself, does it need to be having the name TestAdapter in it? That would really stink. That would really suck. Because that's not what I would want. I would want the types. Yeah, have I been deceiving myself this whole time? Thinking that this would work. Like, how would, wait a minute. How would this even work? Oh, it's because I inadvertently included the test adapter here. That was not what I wanted to do. What I want to be able to do is say, add project reference. And we're going to add one to the reflection one. Okay. So there is a reflection test adapter. That's what we wanted here. Okay. And so now if I say run tests, does this actually work? Because it should give me 5 tests. This is using the simple, and well, it's giving an error, but if I come up here, I did see that it said, yep, I did do, here's the 10, but it's really doing this twice, 5. I'm not sure why. Okay. So that's actually correct because it's saying this is the test adapter, which has these 2 things and it runs. The problem is here, if I say run tests here, is it's not going to find the types in it. Because reasons. And would you look at that? Just by renaming it, it works. So, shoot. That really, it works, but that wasn't what I was hoping for. Now, if I go back into my brain when I was creating all these episodes, I think I was reading somewhere where it said that XUnit supports this. What I had been doing all along is having a type assembly that had test adapter as the end name, and it was just so happened to work. And that's not what ends up here because this project is referencing this source generator test adapter. And then the types end up in here, but it needs to have its name as test adapter. That kind of sucks. That's not really what you'd want. What I'd really want is for it just to say, oh, you have the types embedded. So give me a second. I want to look something up here. Okay, 1 minute. Okay, first of all, I got to go back in the video and make sure that I've actually recorded everything I was doing because I don't know if I paused or unpaused. Anyway, so I couldn't find the original source article that I was thinking of where it said something about that XUnit supports the types being in the assembly, but that the name also has to end in test adapter, I think. If I find that again, I'll make sure to put that in my notes somewhere. But I shouldn't be so discouraged because, again, as a experiment, this actually did work. I mean, well, let's kind of do a hoorah here, because if I come back here, this thing actually puts in all my tests and runs them. Now, why it keeps showing 10, I don't know. Now, if I come back here, if I run this, because I've renamed the assembly so that it ends in TestAdapter, I bet it's going to find them now. And it did. The experiment is complete. I've made it work. So it is unfortunately a little odd in that if this was really truly a thing, I don't know if that dependency of having the assembly end with the word TestAdapter or .TestAdapter is a infrastructure thing within the whole test platform. Or if you can say, go ahead and look in this assembly and go actually find the discoverer and the executor in there. I'm not really sure. I got to go find that again. I will find those sources. But this does work, which is very, very cool. And in fact, what I'm going to do to close this episode out is I'm going to come back here. We're going to grab the whole name here. Then I'm going to say this, okay? But then what I'm going to come in here is say assembly name, and it's this, okay? So that way the folders and CS file and everything still work. And so now if I say clean, and I'd actually come, and I'd actually come back to this, and let's say this, and .NET clean, and then .NET test here. Again, assembly name, I think, says this is what the actual name of the file should be, of the assembly. And so we'll see if this actually worked or not. I think it did because I see testadapter.dll still showing up. And it does. Cool. I'm now going to check this in, commit everything, and then tomorrow I'm going to record a special episode talking about this because honestly, I mean, I feel like I'm kind of dejected, but I shouldn't be. This as a POC experiment MVP works exactly like I was hoping for. This is a very good first step, and this was a lot of fun, hell of a lot of fun to put together. So very frustrating at times, but I'm glad I did it. I learned a lot, and there's some cool stuff to come out of this. So I don't know how much more I'm going to do in this. I might play with how would you actually handle assertions, how would you handle test cases, how would you handle asynchronous methods, all that stuff. I don't know. I'm maybe curious just to play with that to see how far I can push this. But for a first step, I think we have now completed the first step. So thank you all for watching. Leave comments and questions below. See you in the next episode.